Well, if you remember when this 4104 came in, it had a bunch of very serious safety defects going on that we had to fix before we could even let it go. And then it had a clutch that went out. The clutch was completely gone. You can see it's worn through to the rivets. The flywheel surface for it was cracked, broken. We had to get a new flywheel. So everything's coming together on that. We sent the new flywheel out to replace this one that was badly damaged. We got the new clutch coming in. Everything's starting to come together on it here. The new flywheel that I had, we took it to the machine shop and we resurfaced it too, just to make sure it was totally flat and smooth, ready to go again. Bill's just hooking up batteries here to his new inverters on the bus. These big batteries are pretty cool. This is the output bearing. It's crazy worn at the end here because there was no preload on it. It was just floating around in there. So these DD3s are on backwards. The left side's on the right side side's on the left side. It's that little round circle on the top. Where am I going? A little round exhaust port that's on there at the top. That exhausts out, and it's supposed to be at the bottom so that any debris or anything in there blows out. And both of them have that exhaust port right now located at the top. It's not where it's supposed to be. So the DD3s on here are on the wrong sides. The reason that exhaust port on the top is so bad is things can rust out inside there. The moisture can't expel, and you get moisture in the air, and it sits in there and rusts and corrodes everything. There are moving parts inside of that, unlike a regular spring brake. That's not a spring brake. There's 3 air lines that go to it, not 2. It's got these cam lock rollers in there, and if those cam locks get too much rust on them, then they no longer hold the shaft in place anymore. So that's very, very dangerous to have that like that. You can see we have a leaky hub seal here. There's a lot of moisture fluid inside of the hub itself. But just parked here, we haven't touched anything yet. It's been parked here for just a couple days. That is how much is leaking out of there. That is insane. So this one's got a leaky wheel seal. Whoever put this seal in last is an idiot. Look how they dented it up, and you can see it's just mangled. And that's from installation. Unfortunately, the bearings are covered in spalling. These need to be replaced. Not sure if the camera will focus up.
You talking to me?
This bearing race there was no preload on it whatsoever. It's just trash. It's worn out on the outside edge, and see how nasty it is. That's on the output shaft of the transmission, the manual transmission here. Special thanks to Upside for sponsoring this video. Upside is an app that you can download on your phone that gets you cash back on purchases for things like gas, groceries, and dining at restaurants. Here, when you're using the app, it just pulls up a map. It'll show you local places and what the offers are. Like here's our local grocery store where you're getting a cash back of 8%. And there's always, like that, when we did it yesterday at the grocery store, it was up to $10. And then it tells you what the gas station, if they know what the price of the gas is right now, it's like $3.25 a gallon. You get 14 cents cash back per gallon. Plus, if you go inside the store and make any additional purchases, you get 8% cash back on purchases inside the store with that offer. So different offers at different places. You can cash out anytime. You just scan the receipt afterwards, and in like 2 days, it shows up in that account. You can cash it out. You can go to your checking account, PayPal, Amazon gift cards. There's different options. You can do it right away. Download the free Upside app to your phone and use our special promo code GREASE for $5 off your first purchase of $10 or more.
Like that?
Yep. Keep doing it.
Huh?
Keep doing it. Now that we got it off there, you can really see on much play it had before it starts moving in there. That was on steering. Isn't that freaky? That was worn out. So we pulled out the old seal and put in a new rear main seal in there. And then Bill's gonna get this all cleaned up real good tomorrow. And we're gonna get ready to put the new flywheel back on. And we should have the clutch here in a few days. That will be nice. We got the transmission getting all cleaned up over there. And the new bearings and everything should be on their way for that too. So hopefully we'll have that put together soon. So there's the flywheel back from the machine shop. We're getting ready to put a new pilot bearing in it, and then this will go back on. So the surface looks really good, much better than what we had before. We're getting ready to put these block-off plates on the rear axles. So this seals around the axle seal, so we can go with grease on the bearings, and that way we'll keep the oil from leaking out. It's going to hold it in a lot better. So these block-off plates go on the rear axle here. We're going to switch over to grease bearings instead of oil. So this is the valve cover gasket. This is a little extender that goes on there. It raises the height for the Jake brakes. It's a rubber gasket in there, and it's completely turned to plastic. It's hard, and it was leaking on there. And then we're going to replace a new gasket on the valve cover itself as well. So we got to get 2 new gaskets to be able to replace this for the valve cover here on the 671. And it's got the taller one because he's got the Jake brakes on there. We're going to replace that wiper surface there. We got a new one of these surfaces here. That's what the seal rides on. So we put this together and it was still leaking. That was a brand new seal and it was still leaking on there. We got brand new airbags on here. We put block-off plates at the top there. You can see where all that JB weld was on the air beam. We didn't like that, so new airbags there. We got new shocks going on here, so the shocks are going to get replaced. We're going to replace this side brakes. We did the one on the other side already. And on the rear wheels, all these rear bearings were bad. You can see the races. Again, all the little nicks and dimples in them. The bearings are the same way. Placing the U-joint on there. We had all 3 of the 4 caps broke on the old one. We were taking it off, so it's got the new U-joint going on. This is what that new wiper looks like. So this is what the seal surface rides on the front. So it goes on the hub like that. You got to heat it with an oxyacetylene torch to even think about getting the old one off. And it's always quite a job. That's probably the original, so it's been on there for 70 years. So we're going to be... it's always at least an hour's worth of work. This is a little digital 3/4 inch drive torque adapter that we got from Harbor Freight. It goes up to 700 foot-pounds. It does left and right hand rotation. And we tested this today with a known value torque wrench, and it did really good. It was within just a few foot-pounds of what we were getting on the torque wrench. And we used math to also double check it, where we took a specific weight. We weighed a brake drum and put it 2 feet away on a 2-foot bar, and checked the weight of that too with it, and it was right on the money. Very impressed with this. So you can set your torque on your wheels. Again, 3/4 inch drive. Harbor Freight does up to 700 foot-pounds. I think the lowest value is like 150. I think is what it was. Here was the package from it. Yeah, it does 150 to 750 foot-pound torque range. But it worked really well. I'm very pleased with it.
up the holler through the trees, and from a mile away you can hear them play as they climb that hill with ease. At the top of that mountain there's a new life waiting for those who can make the run. If they can make it to the top, Scott will put them in the shop till their new life has begun. Mountain, where the buses come to run. Bus Grease Mountain, we're gonna get that big job done.